Hey everybody, it's time for The Plot Hole with your hosts, Johnny O and Jeremy Flair.
Are you gay?
Coming at you live.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Every Friday night at 8.
And Friday night at 8.
On rockmetaltalk.com.
I went with jockeys here.
Something stinks like stale French fries.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
I killed your cat, you druggy bitch.
Do it.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
So we're talking about the bastardization.
It doesn't matter.
It does. It does matter.
Was the justification
right.
for the murder.
Was the root cause of what happened.
The root cause of what happened was not religion. The root cause was greed.
No. If you take religion and you go and you say, I'm going to take 9/11, for example. You think that wasn't religion-based? However dramatic it was, or however...
But again, we're talking... Look. When we're talking about these horrific atrocities... And again, if you remember what I said at the very beginning of this conversation, when I said that religion is used to manipulate the masses.
Of course.
Okay. The problem...
Are you saying that the masses would not be manipulated if religion wasn't there?
Right.
If we all
hang on a second. Wait. Let me answer your question. Permit me the fallacy of answering a question with a question. If you have a giant group of people
what the hell? Who's eating potato chips?
Goddamn demon.
Who's opening a bag of Sun Chips?
Me. That's me. I'm doing all of the above.
He's rubbing one out while opening up a bag of Sun Chips.
Carrying open the Sun Chips with your teeth.
All right, so
he's actually using them as lube.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's so crazy.
So
hey,
if you take,
you guys are Australian, I would believe that.
Yeah,
How hard you fuckers are.
Well, there you go.
Absolutely, so hard right now.
Oh, continue, Johnny.
I'm thoroughly enjoying the conversation. By the way, I'm just listening as I'm walking around, and it's great. So have at it. Get fucking just. Go
Johnny, I'll kick the football for you again. Religion was the justification for these atrocities.
Religion was used to justify, right? So the problem was
doesn't matter. The initial goal may have been money, may have been resource, may have been whatever, may have been breeding stock. It doesn't matter.
But it does. Motivation matters.
These massacres.
Yes, motivation matters.
Were justified with religion.
Yes, but motivation matters.
No, because the motivation itself wouldn't have justified it. They still have to convince their soldiers to go out and do these things.
Well,
okay?
Hang on a second. Wait. Time out. Hang on. Time out. That's grossly inaccurate because you have a lot of people who fought in World War II on the German side that did not believe in what the Nazi Party believed in, but because they
that is a false equivocation.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
False equivalency. That is a
false
equivalency.
No, it is not. No, it is not. When you're talking about army versus army, when you're talking about crusades, when you're talking about hang on a second, when you're talking about crusades, just a second. When you're talking about crusades, you're talking about sending soldiers. When you are in when you are in the military, when you're in an army, when you're in a navy, when you're in the military, you have a governing body that tells you what to do. Okay. Right now. Hang on a second. Right now, if we had the Joint Chiefs of Staff said everybody who's in the army is going to go out and start slaughtering, or they're going to go out and start taking over Maine. We're going to take over Maine. We want that to become a military state. I don't know. I just picked a fucking state.
God damn it!
I just picked a state. Arizona. Who gives a shit? Or we're gonna flatten out. We're gonna flatten out Canada. We're gonna take over Canada.
Ooh, I like Canada.
Okay. It doesn't matter what the reason is. I'm gonna tell the public. Hey, look, we're doing this because Canada is trying to invade our country, and we are trying to get a preemptive strike. And the real reason is because they got a bunch of oil money that they're not telling us about that we found out about, and I want to take that. But that's not what I'm going to tell. That's not what I'm going to tell the population. And it doesn't fucking matter what I tell the military. They're going to do what the fuck I say because I'm the boss.
Okay, but so take.
So that's not a false equivalency. You can try and say it's false equivalency, but it's not.
Soldiers have taken an oath.
What?
They've taken an oath to hold that position.
And you think motherfuckers back, and you think armies back in the fucking medieval times didn't take oaths to uphold whatever the bullshit fucking oaths they were upheld? Or they were slaves? Or they were slaves that were told to do what they were supposed to do?
But just take World War II, for example. The Nazis, right? What was on their belt buckle? Not mit uns. Army of God.
Well,
yeah, but that was standard issue. That was standard issue.
Come on. So, can I make some points?
Yes.
Of course you can.
The behavior of individual warriors when you remove them from their home society and you put them in an area where they get to rape, pillage, and kill without consequences is often negative. You can look at the behavior of Australian special services in Afghanistan, for instance, where there have been numerous credible allegations of war crimes being undertaken, or the behaviour of American, not all troops succumb to these temptations, but a lot of them do, right? The My Lai massacre during the Vietnam War, numbers of massacres in the Second World War. You look at it's just very, very difficult to suggest, so at the end of the First Crusade, there was obviously a massacre of every man, lots and lots of people in Jerusalem, the sack of Jerusalem. It's difficult to imagine that the Pope conceived that this would happen when he suggested that it occur. He was not responsible for that. So there needs to be a distinction drawn, I think, between what soldiers or small groups of warriors do in completely alien situations where they've got a vague justification for behaving in this way. You can't pin it all on religion, and I don't think you can separate the politics from the religion. I think that the politics and the religion are intertwined. Actually, the Crusades seem to have been genuinely religiously motivated by the occupation of Jerusalem. But there wasn't a lot of money to be made getting them. It was only after they conquered it and they realised, there's sugarcane here, there's trade routes here, that it sort of became financially viable. But even if you take a completely non-religious soldier, drop them somewhere else, they will commit atrocities. The Vikings, for instance, the Viking invasions of Britain were punctuated by massacres, murders, rapes, theft, etc. Absolutely no religious motivation whatsoever. Just a bunch of thugs wandering around taking whatever the fuck they could. So I think you need to be a little bit careful about sort of suggesting that we're very Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan killed something like an average of 60,000 people a day every day of his life or something like that, and he lived to be 60 years old. Killed a lot of people.
A quarter million of the world's population.
Was that religiously motivated? No religious motivation to it whatsoever. 25% of the world's population at the time. He killed, he killed a bunch of people. There are large scale massacres, atrocities that have absolutely nothing to do with religion, and they're just as horrible for the people who suffered them as the religiously motivated ones. But again, I think it's very problematic to separate the actions of individual soldiers from their religion, because I don't think that they're necessarily related, when they're away on campaign. And also, it's very difficult to disentangle the political reality in which a decision was made and the religious motivation for it, because often religion is used as religion and politics are used as post facto justifications for something that the person wants to do anyway. George W. Bush wanted to invade Iraq not because it was a great idea, not because he was religiously motivated to do it, but because his dad should have done it. It was
yeah, because Saddam Hussein said he was going to kick his dad's ass.
Yeah, that's right.
It was retribution for his dad.
Right.
Yeah, and so there's another. Do you guys remember the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Now, how many of you would describe that as a religiously motivated crime?
I wouldn't.
Because I definitely wouldn't. Right? The guy who did it was Islamic, but the reason he did it was because of his pathologically insane homophobia. He had a hatred of gay people. That's why he did it. That's separate from his religion, right?
Well,
so just because he... no.
So I hear what you're about to say. I hear what you're about to say, Sean, and I also hear Tony's. I hear Tony's rebuttal to that, because there are loads of people who believe in God or who are religious that don't have that same type of pathological need to kill gay people.
I totally understand that, but what seeded that perception of I have to hate homos? Like, what gave him that idea?
It could be cultural. It could be sociological. It could be mental deficiency.
My guess is he was deeply conflicted. My guess is that he had strong homosexual urges himself, and he resented the homosexual community.
I mean, when you look at that shooting, it's kind of like, and especially with Islam. I mean, obviously, you don't really understand Islam unless you know how to speak Arabic, right?
Yeah, well,
you can't really appreciate the Quran in that aspect. So it's kind of like
you can only read the Quran in Arabic.
So for me, it's kind of like, well, what fed that to him? What conditioned him to feel that way?
And you're going to blame his religion, but you've got no way of justifying that conclusion.
No, I don't. I'm just I'm curious as to what led to that, other than okay, so my question is, how do you just hate a gay person?
You have to be taught. You have to be taught first.
Right. See, but there's not, the hatred of gay people isn't solely on religious folk. There are people who don't believe in anything that think that it's unnatural for, to play tummy sticks or hot caves.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much homosexuality in the animal world that, it should be a thing that I think should be accepted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Look, I'm not going to sit there and say that you're not going to catch me saying that religion is not or has never been a negative influence, because it most certainly has. There are loads of people who've used religion to influence people negatively. There are also loads of people who have used religion to influence people positively. There are loads of Christians out there who don't do these things that we're talking about, who don't think it's okay, who don't think it's okay to tell somebody how to live their life, who don't believe that, I need to go shoot up a nightclub because there are gay people. There are loads of people out there who are religious, who think that, hey, it's cool. You do you, I'll do me. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'm not going to negatively look down upon you. I'm going to give you the freedom to breathe, just as I expect you to give me the freedom to breathe. So to sit there and say that religion is this and it's religion's fault, it's religion's fault. No, it's the bastardization of religion. It's when we get people who are money hungry, who are corrupt or corruptible, that want something and they want to use this tool to control the masses.
I mean,
I think it's post hoc rationalization.
Oh, everything's a post hoc rationalization. My God, you're starting to sound like a goddamn flirt, JL.